I wanted to take a moment to tell you a little about the trip that, yes, I've been talking about it. You've seen me talk about it before, but a little bit about where I'm going and what I'm doing. So we're going to start off with a map, which I'm frightened about because I think I failed that thing at primary school where you should draw a map of Australia. So on Friday the 13th, clearly I'm not superstitious in the slightest. On Friday the 13th, I'll be setting off from Bendigo. And I'm going to set off after work because I need to maintain an average of 120 kilometres an hour, a day, not an hour, 120 kilometres a day. And my thought is that if I set off on Friday after work, because I have to work, I haven't got that much leave left. If I set off on Friday, any hours that I get done after work are bank hours. So then if I have a horrible day, then I can draw on those bank hours. So then I will be setting off from Bendigo, getting some hours done, and I'm going to head straight up towards Mildura. I'll probably just skip Mildura, maybe go to Red Cliffs or something and pick up some shopping there. It'll take me a few days and then head across and cross over the border, and then I've got a couple of days in a place called Renmark. Now the reason I've got a couple of days in Renmark is because I have to teach. I've got students, they require teaching, and there's a university campus in Renmark that have been kind enough to offer me a spot to sit, and more importantly, internet access. So I'm going to teach for a couple of days in Renmark. That's really nice because it means I've got 4 days from Bendigo to Uluru, because it's about 500k, 4 days from Bendigo to, not Uluru, Bendigo to Renmark, and then I get a 2-day rest of the body but not of the mind. So then I'm going to teach from there, and then I'll set off there. And this map is all out of scale. Surprise, surprise. It's a lot further from Renmark to Port Augusta. But Port Augusta is pretty much the last place that has anything green on Google Earth. I think it's Port Augusta. So Port Augusta is about here. I'm actually going to come in like that, but my map's horrible. And so from here, I'm not suggesting that this bit will be easy, but there'll be some trees here. But I've noticed on Google Earth, I've never been to Uluru before, but I've noticed on Google Earth, as soon as you leave Port Augusta, it kind of looks like the moon, or what you expect the moon to look like. And so then from there on, it's all brown. Now, don't when you look at Google Earth, you see these lovely lakes and stuff there. Don't be deluded. There's no water in them. They're empty. But, so then I'm going to head up, and there's a long stretch. I can't remember exactly how many kilometres, but there's a long stretch to get up to Cooper. And I'm going to have a rest day in Cooper. I'm also going to stock up. So on these long stretches, I will actually have to take water with me. I think the maximum water I'll need to take is about 15 litres of water. And for those of you cyclists who like to shave, 100 grams off the weight of your handlebars, yeah, I've got to carry 15 litres of water for this period of time. So that'll be pretty heavy going, but it's all flat. Now, admittedly, the interesting thing about flat is you think, oh, that'll be easy. Have a look at the weather charts and the direction of the wind. And no doubt I'll be talking about wind at some point when I go. But the reality is that if you've got a 20 kilometre-hour wind in your face, your average speed drops substantially. Like in my experience, up to 10, 15k an hour. So it makes it really hard work. So you don't need hills for it to hurt. The headwind is going to kill it. And so I'll have a couple of days, have 1 day off in Cooper, and then I'll head off. Now there's some other stops on the way, but there's not a lot there, just little tiny towns. I think there's a place called Marla on the way, and I can't remember whether I'm going to have a stop there or not, but I will certainly be stocking up. And then we head up and we head over the border, okay? And you kind of think by the time you get here, it's like, geez, we've done a lot of K, we're nearly there, it's just a left turn and Uluru should be on your left. But the reality is that this little left turn, there's a couple of 100k there. So there's a couple of days before we get to Uluru. So this trip is, look, I'm expecting it will take about 3 weeks. I've got, obviously I've got a couple of days of teaching and I've got a couple of rest days to let the body catch up with itself. But a lot of it, most of it is kind of in this desert area, so it's going to be really interesting. I'm just planning on having a tailwind pretty much the whole way. That's what I'm planning for. We'll see how we go. So I'm looking forward to sharing this with you. I think I've got 5 or 6 weeks to go. Now, what I would love you to do is jump onto the website and choose which option you're going to use. If you want to use all of them to follow me, go for it. But there's Facebook there, so follow my page on Facebook or like it or whatever it is that you do. There's Instagram, where I'll be posting photos too and comments on location and where I'm going and how I'm going. And there's also YouTube as well, so you can subscribe to my channel. Now, for those of you who don't want to do any of those things, I've also got a mailing list that you can put your name down for, and I'll send you an update once or twice a week, depending on what's going on. Some of these spots in here have absolutely no reception, so I'll be relying on somebody else to kind of put updates on my location and what's going on. And the other thing I want you to do is have a look at the, what have I called it, the peculiar marketplace. Now, I don't ever do things the simple way. Ask my wife, she'll tell you. I don't ever do things the simple way, and I want to, I'm trying to raise 10 grand. And so I figure I should offer something in return. So what I'm doing is I'm selling off a bunch of different things. Now I'm expecting some, some of you have money, don't be tight. I'm expecting some big donations. I've already had one donation, a $500 donation, which was very, thankfully received. And basically what I'm going to do for that person is I've got one more of these. So if you want to donate $500, you can. I've got one more spot for up to 1 kilo item of your choosing. Now the first one that I've sold, what it turns out that it is it's a penguin. Not a real penguin Yvette, a pretend penguin. It's a stuffed penguin. But this penguin has some kind of connection to the family. Both of the kids have got a penguin. And so I'm going to take this penguin on my bicycle. Everybody will see me riding with a penguin and wonder what is wrong with me. But take this penguin with me all the way to Uluru. Now, I've warned them that the penguin may well be grubby by the time it gets there, but they seem okay with that, but I'm not entirely sure that they've really thought about the implications of that. Anyway, let's hope it goes in the wash, because it's not going to be clean. But I have another spot. I don't really want another penguin, but if you've got a penguin, that's fine. So I've got another spot there. Good, I'm not carrying freight for nothing. I want a good, solid donation. We're trying to change the world a little bit. The kids that we're trying to support, they need solid water security so that we can actually do the things that people need, that they need to do. Right down at the other end, you might also want to make a $50 donation. And what I'll do for that is you can create a one-hour playlist of whatever music you like. There's some music that I really don't want, but I'll do it. And what I'll do is I'll provide a review of your taste in music. I've already got one of these has sold. It's being done by a 1-year-old, which frightens me a little because I'm not a big fan of the Wiggles. But $50, I'm more than happy to listen to that for an hour while I'm on the road. So I'm expecting to do lots of these. I'm really looking forward to listening to these and providing a review on them. Have a look through the peculiar marketplace. This is not your standard fundraiser where you just donate nothing and hear back. I've got lots of different options there, largely to keep my brain entertained, but also for you as well. So I'm looking forward to sharing this with you, and I hope that you get on board and help us get to that 10 grand mark so that we can change the lives of these kids. Thanks.